You're the night sky trying to make me see your...
Hi, I'm Laura, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another vlog. Today is Saturday the 15th of March 2025. I have been beavering away in the background. I don't know if you can tell by my voice, but I'm on the tail end of being sick personally. We had the trip to the hospital with Michael, and then the following weekend I started getting sick, and then I was sick last weekend. I was in bed with like a fever, and yeah, we're coming out on the other side of it, so hopefully we can get back to the scheduled programming. I would say regularly scheduled, but nothing's ever regular with me, is it? But I have been beavering away in the background, getting extra little bits here and there done. I've been keeping up with my writing journal, and I don't know if I have it here. Yes, I do. I started affirmations every day this month. Not this month, but I started on the 9th. I started doing affirmations. I basically just write that I am a successful romance author enough times to fill a page, and every day that I do that, I do more tasks related to being an author. So I think it works. It just sort of like programs my brain into that sort of drive. I'm currently waiting for a video to process, and then I've got another vlog to edit, and then I'm going to try and get on with all of the other videos I had planned to do. I don't know what I've mentioned in the other clips of footage that I'm about to edit, but I know I didn't do or share the things that I said I was going to share in the vlog I just edited. At the start of it, it was just after we'd come home from the hospital with Michael, and I talked about how later on in the video I was going to be doing some decluttering and talk about ChatGPT and all this other stuff, and I didn't do any of it. Because the video just started getting really long, so I just kind of cut it short. The next vlog after it will have had more authory, writing-y type stuff in it. And I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of a meltdown in there somewhere as well. We're weeks past now. we're further in the future than that. But yeah, I always feel a bit sucky when I'm editing stuff like that, and I've promised that I'm going to talk about things and then I never do. So I will be having the ChatGPT video coming up soon. I will have the Notion story Bible coming up soon. Obviously I didn't get to it this last week and a half because I've not been well. But I have still kept up with my planner. I'm really so happy with how much I've been able to keep up with my planners. This year so far, like every week I've done some sort of planning in here, which is an improvement, like a vast improvement on recent years. And the amount of progress I've made in my drafting this year has greatly increased as well, or at least like in the last 6 months has greatly increased on recent years, which I'm super excited about. I'm just going to take a sip of tea. I love my tea. I love my teacup. I don't know if does it say on the other side? Yeah, it says you don't have to be mad to work here, but it helps. I love this cup. Like, I don't sound great. I know I still sound a bit off, but I feel so much better. I just have this constant runny nose and this like cough in my throat that just won't shift. Like, you know, when this is probably TMI, but you know when you're coughing and it feels like there's something there? It doesn't matter how much I cough, the thing doesn't move. It's just irritating, if anything. Yeah, I've just been kind of doing more like self-care, like relaxation type things. Whilst I've been ill, I've been doing a lot more reading. I finished 2 books, and I've started reading Nevernight by J. Kristoff, I think it's called. That is bizarre way that is written. It's like tandem stories, telling you a story that what has happened prior to the scene and then telling you the scene, like the same way it's written, the same sort of beats of events, but totally flipped. But I'm only like 2 chapters in, so you know, I'm not going to delve too much into it. I'm enjoying it. I finished rereading Reckless Conduct, I think it was called, by Susan Napier. It's a favourite one of mine. I've read it like 5 times. And then I read Walking Into Tomorrow, another Mills and Boon, about a woman who she survives an attack from a boyfriend, and there's this big drama in the papers and she wants to escape, so she buys this tea house up in the mountains and she gets snowed in with the guy who owns the hotel up there, and you know, chemistry. And it was a riveting read. I really enjoyed it. But now I'm on Nevernight and I'm enjoying it too. And I've started watching Married at First Sight Australia, which I adore watching Married at First Sight. Like, I don't watch much TV, and when I do, it's hardly ever reality TV, and I don't want to knock anyone who enjoys reality TV. Enjoy what you want. Personally, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. But Married at First Sight, I love that show. I like watching the British one. It's the first time watching the Australian one. I've been watching like the catch-ups. I'm almost up to speed. But it really kind of helps with coming up with personality matches and like fast-paced relationship building, and it helps with the story writing, which is awesome. But yeah, this isn't talking about writing or ChatGPT or anything, is it? Getting you guys caught up on what I've been up to. I think I mentioned in the vlog that you'll have seen prior to this that I've broken up the Breathe trilogy, the first book, Inhale. I've kind of thought about it more and realised that I'm starting the story way too early, and I've decided to take the whole prior evening scene and take it into being a short story. I did do a outline for that, and I have the bones of a draft for it. I need to go back in and sort of flesh out a little bit more. I need to add more points of view, and not more points of view, but like, I can't think of how to word it. Like, I need to have more perspective shifts, to give the characters more time to express themselves. I need to plant in more of Libby's desire to sleep with I've changed the name. It's no longer Scott. He wasn't originally going to be called Scott, but the character has just gotten so dark that I can't do it, because originally the names, as I've explained this before, but the names Michael and Scott were placeholders. I originally started this story like back in 2014, and I worked with these 2 guys, Mike and Scott, and I couldn't think of any other names off the spot. There's another character called Ryan, who's also someone that I worked with at the time. He's actually the nephew of my old boss, and he's a lovely guy. They're all lovely guys, and that's one of the reasons why I can't keep the placeholder name for Scott, because even though they've become their own characters, Scott as a character has just become so dark, like so dark, and it's like vicious, and not in a sexy way. Like, he's a POS, like seriously. And if they were to discover the book and find out that their names were used as placeholders and kept on, I don't think I could live. I don't think I could. That sounds so dramatic. I don't think I could live with myself. I don't think I could ever look Scott in the eye, having his name attached to a character like that. I don't want it to ever be misconstrued that I would see him like that, because I wouldn't, because he's just not that type of guy. He is a super kind, supportive, protective guy. So I've changed the name. But I can't decide between Leon or Noah, because they're two names I can't stand. I can't stand those two names. So for a character whose personality is of a type of person I can't stand, those are the two names I'm going between. So show of hands in the comments, who would Leon be better or Noah? Which one sounds more like a manipulative, abusive asshole? Tell me. So I'm getting on really well with that draft. I just need to add more of her thought process behind it, her desire, her anticipation, but also adding the element that her anticipation isn't like she's doing it because she thinks it's expected, that he deserves the reward, not because she really, really wants to. And in the process of developing that prequel, I kind of developed more of a stronger dynamic between Libby and Mike, and like they have more of a past than just teen crush, you know, and it kind of adds a bit more.
And it's Rosie, I like that.
Yeah. And it adds more of oh gosh, I've forgotten the word now. Forgotten the word. What word am I thinking of? It adds more motivation into our villain's behaviour. It's not justifiable motivation, but in his mind, the relationship between Mike and Libby is what spurs on his behaviour, because he has to get in there first. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next clip.
Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping they will cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering why my mind keeps on spinning. This isn't how living to me was told. Why am I like this? Something's always amiss. Can't put my finger on it, but it's there. Wait for it to subside, but my mind won't apply. Waiting for the clear. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful. Listen, I can see the light today, but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away. Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it'll cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering how the world keeps on spinning, kinda scared of living when it unfolds. Hard to see the light when everything is dying, waiting for the clear. Thankful I'm alive, but terrified of dying. But hey, I'm still here. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. There's some.
So I've already gotten ahead of the game and got them next week all set up. I got this really cute washi tape. There's loads of it, and it's just like these reels of heart for ticking off you know, tasks. It does mean I only have like 2 lines per task, which is fine. Just means I can't make the tasks too chunky. It kind of forces me to make it very granular. And it came in like a set of 5 for like £1. So awesome. It's so freaking cute. So I've got next week all sorted out. Which I want to do writing wise, social media wise. There will probably be some other things I want to add to the personal category. I do want to start utilizing this section a bit more, but I'm just so slapdash in putting this together at the moment that I just don't have the time to focus on here. But I will sort of make it as a point to come back and add things throughout the week. Like, might even be personal notes, it might be things related to the writing or promotion or things like that. I'm not sure. We'll decide. And then I have draftathon. I hope you can see the bottom. So I'm going to lift you up a little bit. I've moved where my camera is attached to on my desk, so you can hopefully see more of the spread now. But I'm calling it the draftathon. I think I mentioned it in a previous vlog, but I didn't manage to get to it because, you know, ill. Basically I want to dedicate an hour to 2 hours every single night just for drafting. Only drafting. So as soon as the kids go to bed, I'm going to come and sit down here and I'm going to draft solidly. I might do live streams. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're going to get a lot done this week. I'm not going to allow myself to go to sleep until I've hit the 5k mark. Unless I, you know, become unconscious, in which case I've got no control over that. But as you might have noticed, I have, you can't see it in this shot obviously, but I now have a desk chair. I'm no longer just sitting on a sort of stool. I have a chair that I can rest my back on, and I can, you know, change positions and be comfortable here. I can wrap myself in a blanket here. I can get super comfortable. Yes, I need to tidy the desk a bit more. That is a definite. That's always going to be a definite, but I can get super comfy right here. And yeah, so I'm going to dedicate a couple hours each night to drafting. We're aiming for 35k this week. See what we can get done. I do want to try dictation again because I know I can get the words out a lot quicker for dictation, and I kind of want to do all of my like outlining and first draft in dictation if I can, but again it does depend on energy levels and if there's kids going about, because, you know, you don't want to be dictating graphic or explicit things around children. So we'll see how it goes.
I know you feel like you want me, and I guess in a way you do. Holding my breath, unraveling emotions. I need some space to think this through. Call me all night long. Try to give you hints and a hard to see. Right on the line, no. Losing it on you's the last thing I need. If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I promise now's not the right time. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. Look away so you won't see, cause the pain is in my eyes. Feels like I could break it any moment and shatter your insides. If you feel my mind, call me all night long. Try to give you hints and a hard to see. Right on the line, no. Losing it on you's the last thing I need. If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you.
Sunday the 16th of March and I've had a productive day. Not necessarily on like the writing front, but elsewhere, yes. Gotten the desk area cleared, the floor area around my desk cleared and tidied again. And yeah, I've done some editing and vlogs are all like scheduled. I did film the sort of tidying process, so that video will already be live before this vlog is. But yeah, I'm just kind of start carrying on with my myself a little tray. Got my little note cards and my pens and some extra little paper clips. But I have been I decorated them with snowflakes because they all take place in the same snowy evening. But I've basically been re-going through the outline for the prequel and writing it in perspective, these notes, because I wanted to sort of deepen it a little bit. Like I had a basic skeleton, like I said, but I want to flesh out a little bit more. I want to add more depth. I want to add more like character growth and emotion into it. I want to portray Libby's true motivations for wanting to sleep with Leon. She doesn't want to, but it's about time, right? He's been so kind and patient. I mean, he deserves this, right? That sort of train of thought. And so yeah, each side of the card is a perspective. Each chapter is a different perspective because it's just a prequel. Like I'm thinking around 10,000 words for it, so it's not going to be huge, so dipping from one perspective to another to another to another isn't going to be so, hopefully not too jarring, but you know, it's not going to be too interruptive. Is interruptive a word? It's not going to be like highly, I'm sure interruptive is a word, but you know what I mean, like it's not going to be so stop and start, swapping, you know, the head hopping. Like it shouldn't be too irritating. But it might be irritating, I don't know, but it's the only way I can think to do it, okay? It's the only way I can think to do it. But in the process, I've actually thought of more ways to make the story flow, because even though I had the skeleton of the outline, I felt like I needed to bring Leon's character in earlier than where he comes in at, because he comes in like the last third of the short story, and I wanted to bring him in earlier. So Libby texts him, and then we have her like perspective. She texts him and says, you know, like, we're getting wrapped up here, are you gonna be here soon, kiss 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 kiss. And it's his response to that message kind of plants the whole you know, her feeling like he's pulling away from her, which is why she's upping the ante by wanting to sleep with him to try and, you know, bring them closer together. And then we jump into Mike's perspective, and then those two perspectives marry up at the same point outside the school. And then from there we jump to Leon's perspective in his car with Leanne, because she snuck away from the preparations and is having sneaky time with him, and she gets all huffy, and they have a bit of a back and forth about, oh, why are you still with her? You clearly don't want her, you have me, and like, I'm so much better. And he gets kind of, it's the first taste of his aggressive nature, and I mean that in like the most toxic, red flaggy way, not in the you know, nothing about this character should be in any way construed as potentially attractive. No, this guy's just bad. This guy's just bad. And he's gotten away with so many bad things that it's like, it's terrible, okay? This guy's just bad. And this, bringing this this scene in, it kind of sets up his headspace, his dynamic with Leanne, their secretive behaviour behind Libby's back. And then after that scene, we jump back into the snow and taking the rubbish out, and the little moment that Libby and Mike have. And yeah, so that's what we're doing with the cards. That's what we're doing with the cards. I've got about there's 6 cards, so I'm thinking about 12-ish chapters. Yes, it's going to be like 10,000 words ish, give or take. So we're looking at like what, maybe 800 words a chapter, 800 words perspective. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of information in the prequel, a lot of sort of laying the groundwork of friendships, of their dynamics and how they interact with each other, and you know, how people see Libby, but Libby doesn't realise they think this way about her. And yeah, that's the beauty of points of view, isn't it? You get to see things that go, you get to see things that are going on around the main character that the main character isn't seeing. Kind of makes me think of dramatic irony. Can you do dramatic irony in prose? I don't know. I remember studying that a lot when we did Shakespearean plays in English. Dramatic irony. Usually when you know, a character would have a soliloquy, I think that's what they were called, and they'd have like a monologue to the audience, a dramatic monologue. Maybe that's not a soliloquy, just it's been a long time since I was in school, guys. It's been a long time. I left school in 2006. Okay, give me a break. Give me a break. Anyways, I'm gonna get these cards finished tonight, and then as of tomorrow, we're going back into the drafting. I want to get Just Breathe finished this week. So I want to get that draft finished this week, and then I want to finalise the outline for Inhale and start drafting that this week. I don't know necessarily if I will do dictation. I would like to do dictation, but maybe just need to like get more into the groove, more into the headspace, more into the characters to be able to do that. And writing these cards in this way, like in the headspace of the characters, it kind of really helps. I remember I used to do that. Like, I'd start in like third person in my drafting, like in my outlining. I would start in third person, and then as I got into it, I would start writing in the headspace of the characters. Because my writing time has been like just basically shattered. Like it's here, there, and everywhere. There is no regularity. There is no intense focus. It's kind of been hard to get into that zone of being able to disconnect from reality long enough to connect into the character's headspace. Like, I can totally outline what I want, but to actually dialogue it out, like, I need to be able to devote my attention to it, you know? Because I know there's a lot of like there's conflicting writing advice out there. There is the whole, you know, sitting down and having your dedicated time, and then there is this idea that, you know, you don't need to be in the zone. You can just write a sentence here or a sentence there, which is true. It's true. You can just write a sentence here, a sentence there, but also the quality of that isn't necessarily going to be as good as if you were able to dedicate the time and be in the zone, in my opinion. But, you know, I'm not a published author quite yet, so is my opinion worth much? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I have myself a nice cup of tea. I'm gonna change into my pajamas and get really comfy cozy and get a blanket, and I'm gonna sit here for like the next however long it takes me to finish these cards, because I want to get it done now, and I'm gonna.